In the eastern part of Nigeria, there lived a certain village called Umwada. It was a non-developed area filled with people who yearned for agriculture and rural lifestyle. In that same city lived a girl called Ada. Ada is a 22-year-old girl who stays with her parents in a hut deep inside a village in eastern Nigeria. She was the first child out of 6 girls. Ada worked hard in helping her parents at home. She swept the whole compound every day and also fetched water from the stream, but Emeka and Nneka, Ada's parents, wanted more from her. They always taunted her on how girls her age were already married. Ada had always wanted to go to school and get a degree before thinking of marriage, but her parents didn't buy her dream. They wanted her to get married to a rich man who will fend for their needs and further her siblings' education. It made Ada weak and bad. Suitors came, but Nneka rejected them because they were too young for Ada. Who knows, they can decide to leave you tomorrow and go for another beautiful lady, or they lose their jobs and get poor. Nneka would say after Ada would confront her on why she rejected her suitors. One morning, while Ada was coming back from fetching firewood, Chief Idris, a renowned chief in the village, known for his versatility in business and trade, stopped her while in his car. "Hello there, beautiful," he said, smiling with his white beard standing out on his face. "Good morning, sir." Ada greeted him as she continued walking, but he drove his car forward to her. "Why is such a beautiful girl like you walking under this morning sun? Do you want the sun to burn this your tender skin?" the chief asked as he laughed hysterically. "I'm fine with it, sir," Ada said, feeling uncomfortable. "Come in, let me take you home," Chief Idris offered. "I'm okay, sir. Thank you," Ada said and left. This time she walked very fast. "Find out where she lives for me," Chief Idris instructed his driver. "She's Chief Emeka's first daughter," the driver said. "Oh, they must really be known in this village," Chief Idris said as the car drove off. Ada wondered who that man was and was very conscious so he wouldn't follow her home. That same evening, Ada went to the market to get something to cook for the house. On her way, she accidentally bumped into a guy who was in his late 20s. He was dark-skinned, muscular and attractive. They stared into each other's eyes until they caught a hold of theirself. "I'm so sorry," Ada apologized to him. "It's fine, beside I'm also at fault because I wasn't looking too," he said, smiling. It was the first time since she saw a guy that good-looking in the village. She has never had a male friend, all her friends were female friends. This one was different. Her heart raced faster and harder. "If I may ask, where are you heading to?" the man asked her politely, bringing her out of her trance. "I'm going to the market," Ada stuttered, clearing her throat. "Okay, I'm Kelvin," he introduced himself. "I'm Ada," Ada said, smiling. "I will be going now," Ada said before running off as she blushed. Ada kept on thinking about Kelvin every minute of the day. She usually strolled during the evening to check if he will pass, but he didn't. She became worried about. One morning, Ada was going to the stream with her friends to fetch water. On their way, Ada saw Kelvin. He looked more elegant this time. "Hey, Ada, right?" he asked, grinning at her. "Yes, Kelvin," Ada said with satisfaction. She was happy to see him. "Could we go and have a chat small?" he suggested. "Okay, I will quickly fetch this water and come back here to meet you," Ada said, trying to hide her excitement. She did as she said and met Kelvin under a mango tree. "Forgive me for saying this, but you look very beautiful," Kelvin said. "Thank you," Ada fiddled with her cloth shyly. After that day, Ada and Kelvin started meeting up and they became real close. They didn't stay a day without seeing each other. Ada was sleeping one afternoon when Chief Idris came to see her parents. Ada. Neka called out loudly. Yes, Mama. Ada answered as she walked out of the hut looking sleepy. The moment she saw Chief Idris, she was shocked. What are you doing here? Ada asked immediately. Stop that. Is that how to talk to your visitor? Emeka fired at her immediately. Please sit down, Chief. Emeka offered him a seat. Okay, without wasting much of your time, I will just go straight to the point. I saw your daughter coming back from fetching firewood one day and I must say, I got attracted to her. Chief Idris said. Neka's heart was filled with joy. I just want to make her my wife and I promise to take good care of her. Chief Idris promised. Ah, it's fine, Chief. When do you want to come with your people? Emeka impatiently asked him. We will be coming tomorrow. Chief Idris said as he rose to his feet. Okay, sir. Emeka said before Chief Idris left. Ada, who had been eavesdropping on their conversation since, cried bitterly. She quickly rushed out of the house to meet with Kelvin in their meeting spot, but he was not there. She was heartbroken. The next day, Chief Idris came with his people. They offered Emeka and Neka gifts and Chief Idris was ready to carry Ada with him. Ada. Emeka called her out. Ada, looking sleep-deprived, came out with a sad face. Go in and pack your things. Your husband is ready to take you home. Emeka told his daughter, who ran inside and cried bitterly as she packed her bags. She finally came out and Chief Idris took her with him. Neka and Emeka weren't bothered about sending their daughter off like that. Chief Idris took Ada to the city where he lived in his big mansion. Ada felt like she was in another different world because everywhere was modernized. Ada was shocked at what she saw. He had other wives and they were older than her. She felt so downcasted around them. They all glared at her with jealousy. This is Ada, my new wife, which means she's your co-wife. Take care of her and treat her nicely. Chief Idris addressed them before taking Ada into his room. He started undressing and came closer to Ada, but she looked away, looking uncomfortable. Come on, we are married now. Chief Idris said. Please, I can't do this. Ada said as, trying to leave the room, but Chief Idris dragged her back and pushed her on the bed where he started forcing himself on her. Stop it, please. Ada screamed at the top of her voice, but no one came to rescue her. Chief Idris finally had his way with her and left her weeping on the bed. Ada regretted the day she came into this world. She felt pain all over her body. She could barely stand. During dinner that night, Ada met everyone at the table already. You're late, Chief Idris said, causing everyone on the table to look at Ada. Ada. Ada heard her name from a familiar voice. She looked at who called her and was shocked. Kelvin, Ada said with tears. What are you doing here? Kelvin asked her as he came closer to her. What do you mean by that? She's my wife, and how do you two know each other? Chief Idris asked angrily from where he sat. Your wife? Kelvin asked, laughing sarcastically. She's my fiancée I told you about. Kelvin said, this time being serious. Chief Idris rose from his seat with anger and walked to Ada. She's my wife and nothing can change that, he said, dragging helpless Ada to his room. Kelvin was furious at his father. Ada, on the other hand, didn't know they were related. It happened so quickly. Ada's parents waited and waited for Chief Idris to come back and visit them with money, which was the reason they married their daughter off to him, but they were unlucky because he stopped picking their calls and visiting them. He never have them any money. One morning, Kelvin met Ada in the living room. When did this happen? Kelvin asked her immediately. It was my parents. They forced me in marrying Chief Idris, which I never knew was your father. I came looking for you the day he came, but you weren't there, Ada said amidst tears. Kelvin felt touched by her tears. He knew how frustrating Ada's parents were, especially on the part of marriage. "I'm so sorry, dear," Kelvin said to her with concern. "What are we going to do now?" Ada asked him, wiping tears off her face. "I don't know yet, dear." "Wait." Kelvin trailed off, thinking of something. He dragged Ada to an empty room in the house and shut the door. "What is it?" Ada asked him, looking confused. "I'm not meant to be telling this to you, but I will. My father has a terminal disease. He has leukemia," Kelvin told Ada. Ada wasn't educated to the point of university level, so she didn't understand what he was talking about. "What do you mean by that?" she asked with curiosity. "He has cancer of the blood. He has only 3 months to live," Kelvin explained. "Why are you telling me this?" Ada asked him. "We were not happy about the news when we heard of it, but we can't do anything. We flew him abroad for solutions, but it couldn't be cured. What I'm trying to say is that, if you can endure until he dies, we could be together," Kelvin assured her. "What if I conceive for him?" Ada asked him, making him quiet for a while. "What if you get pregnant but not for him and he will think it's his child?" Kelvin suggested. "I don't know about this plan, Kelvin. He already..." Ada trailed off, not knowing how to complete it. "He touched you?" Kelvin asked with raised brows. "Yes. He forced himself on me last night," Ada told him. "That man," Kelvin said through clenched teeth. "It's fine. I think you should lay low for now by saying you're stuck so he won't touch you anymore," Kelvin suggested. "All right," Ada said before they parted ways. After that day, Ada did what Kelvin told her to do, and it worked. Meanwhile, Ada and Kelvin made love to each other every night to make their plan work. Exactly 3 months after, Chief Idris died in his sleep. Most of his wives cried while the others celebrated his death. As for Ada and Kelvin, they got married with everyone's support. Even though Kelvin's mom had died while he was still a child, his stepmother supported him. He also took over the whole properties and money of Chief Idris. Ada got pregnant and gave birth to a baby boy. Kelvin was so excited that he threw a party where he invited all his rich friends. "Why don't we visit your parents, dear?" Kelvin suggested during the party. "I mean, it's off since they are not here to celebrate with us and carry their grandchild," Kelvin stated. "I don't want to see them," Ada said bluntly. "I know you miss them so much. Yes, they've done so many horrible things to you, but they are still your parents and I'm sure they've realized their mistakes," Kelvin added. "Thank you," Ada said, crying as she rested her head on his chest. Very early the next morning, Ada and Kelvin set to leave for the village to visit Ada's parents. They entered the village with their escort. The whole villagers came out to see who it was. When they got to Ada's house, Neka and Emeka came out. The moment Ada alighted from the car, they fell to their knees and pleaded. "We are so sorry, Nawam. We chased you out of the house by marrying an old man without thinking about you. We are sorry." Neka apologized, crying. "I'm sorry, dear, please forgive us. We know we've not been good parents to you especially," Emeka pleaded. Ada helped them back up and embraced them tightly. "I still love you both," she said with tears in her eyes. Ada brought their son to her parents, who were surprised and happy. That was how Ada changed the narrative of her family and lived a happy life with her husband and child.